Hello, I'll be doing chapter 3.3 of statistics, showing you guys how to do the mean, variance, and standard deviation of group data. First, I would like to start off with a cheat sheet, showing you the different things that will be put in the formula. First is FI, which is the frequency, N means sample size, big N means the population size, and MI means the midpoint. And this will help you for when you look at the formulas for the mean, variance, and standard deviation. First, we're going to go over the mean. This is how you get the mean of it. For sample, you would do sigma, remember from 3.2, times midpoint times frequency all over sigma frequency. This is for the sample size. For population, you use mu, and you do the midpoint times the frequency all over the frequency. So it's close to the same, just using different things. Next, I would like to show you the variance. It's a little bit more complex, but it's still easy. So you do S squared, like we did in 3.2, and you do sigma frequency, parentheses, midpoint minus the mean squared, all over the sample size minus 1. For this one, it's close to the same, but you square the midpoint times frequency, and you keep this the same, all over sample size, and parentheses, sample size minus 1. So these two things are the difference in it. Next, for population, you use sigma. This is just a different symbol for it. And you do the frequency, in parentheses, midpoint minus mu squared, all over big N, population size. And then for this one, the difference is you put N before, and before you do the midpoint squared times frequency minus the midpoint times frequency squared, all over big N squared. So that's the other difference for population size. And that's how you get the variance, and these are both the formulas for it. The next one is standard deviation. And for this one, it's pretty straightforward. It's just the sample size times the midpoint squared times frequency minus the midpoint times frequency squared over the sample size, parentheses, sample size minus 1. So it's close to the variance one, so it's pretty, straightforward. And also, I should put the mean down here like you learned previously, because you always want to find the mean before you find the standard deviation and the problem that you get. And so that's how you get standard deviation. And also, just another thing to remember is probability distributions. This is it. You will see it sometimes, it's not that big, but just to let you guys know, this is symmetric for the, graph that you will get, which contains the mean, median, and mode. And this is skewed to the right. Even though it looks like it's to the left, it's skewed to the right, and you do the mode, median, and mean. This is less to the large. And then this is skewed to the left. Even though it looks like to the right, it's skewed to the left, and you do the mode, median, and mean. And also, it's the same exact thing. This is less, and this to get larger. And that's how you this probability distributions. Now we're going to go to the examples for the mean for sample size. So first, this is what you get. You get the days and frequency. That's what you get in your problem. So you get 1-2, 3-4, 5-6, 7-8, and 9-10. And then they'll give you numbers 16, 30, or whatever number they'll give you. But says 16, 13, 24, 19, and 30. And that's what they will give you. Now to solve it, of course, you will have to use the formula. So as you can see, you have to add all this to get your frequency. And once I added all this, I got 102. So that's your frequency. And then you want to get the MI, the midpoint. So to find the midpoint, you have to add these two and divide it by 2. So 1 plus 2 divided by 2 equals 1.5. And you do the same thing for the next one. 3 plus 4 divided by 2 is 3.5. You do et cetera, et cetera, et cetera on. And this one you got 5.5, 7.5, 9.5. Now, it's pretty easy to understand. Now you do midpoint times frequency, so you times these two together. So you times 16 times 1.5, get 24, and do it for the rest. To get 45.5, 132, 142.5, and 285. And your total for that is 629, I'm sorry. And then for your formula, you do midpoint times frequency divided by frequency. So you do 629 divided by 102. And you will get 6.167. for your answer. And you want to use all that to correctly have your answer. And that's how you find the mean. Now the last one is standard deviation. This one's pretty long, but it's still the same concept. So again, you get the days and the frequency as listed, the 1-2, 3-4, and everything. And they give you 9, 22, 28, 15, and 14. Add them together like you did for the previous one. You get 88. And then you have to find the midpoint. You do 1 plus 2 divided by 2. You get 1.5. It's the same exact ones as the previous before. So you get all these, 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, and 9.5. And you times them together to get the MI, frequency, midpoint times frequency. So 9 times 1.5, as you can see, equals 13.5. And you do for et cetera on. So you get 77 for this one, 154, 112.5, and 133. This equals 490 once you add all these together. To do the mean first, like I said before, so you do 490 divided by 88, you get 5.5681. And if you want to round it, the correct rounding will be 5.57, but this is more correct. And then the next step to this, you want to do MI squared times frequency. You're wondering how to do that? It's easy. You just do the midpoint here times the midpoint you found here, and you get your answer. So 1.5 times 13.5 equals 20.25. Then you do 3.5 times 77 equals 269.5. You do that for the rest. So you get 847, 843.75, 1,263.3. Your total for this is 3,244. Continuing on, because it couldn't fit on that one sheet of paper. So you want to put it all in the formula that I gave you. So you do 88 from previous, that was your frequency, times the 3,244, which was the MI squared frequency, minus the MI FI squared, which was 490, and then all over the sample size, which was 88 again, parentheses 88 minus 1. So using the calculator, I times them. I got 285,472 minus 240,100. All divided by 7,656. And then I equaled that. I got 5.9263. That's the variance. So you aren't done just yet. You want to square it to get the deviation. So once you square it, I got 2.4343. And that's how you find the standard deviation. So I just taught you how to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation. I hope to help. Thank you.